How are we today, everybody? Good morning. Dom Rici here, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, February 1st. Wow, February already. A quick month of January, quick year as far as I'm concerned. Um, I guess my parents were right, man. You never want to believe them when you're a kid, but they said time flies as you get older. They are right about that. But anyhow, how's everybody doing? Super Bowl week, as we've talked about a few times on a few shows. This week, it's an exciting week. Today, we might see a line change. I didn't check before we came on. It's tough on those Saturday mornings coming on early, that's for sure. But I didn't check what the line was last night. When I checked, it was the Chiefs 1.5. We talked about on the lounge last night with Boston Nick, with Paco Healy, and with Greg plus EV and Trot Ram. Don't let me forget my buddy Trot. We did talk about is the line going to change a little bit? Is there going to be any? Could you see San Francisco becoming a minus? Can you see San Francisco becoming the favorite? I didn't think so. A couple guys kind of thought maybe, but what we do know is that a lot of the bets are coming in starting yesterday. From what I read, as I talked about before, said almost 95% of the bets come in from the 48 hours before. So today we could see a line move. Tomorrow morning we could wake up and who knows? You could see a pick 'em again. I'm not sure. I would think that I did see a 2 yesterday. I would think if you like the 49ers, you better take them. If any late money is going to come in, I could see it coming in on the 49ers, on that West Coast money, into Vegas. It's true. It happens. Even though there's a lot of other betting markets coming in, that's still a big thing, a big line movement. Even from Reno, all those Nevada casinos are going to start taking in some money from California and from the surrounding little areas. So I would think that if there is a line movement, it would be with the 49ers. But anyhow, that's the Super Bowl, how to start with that. Later on in the show, we'll touch on some Super Bowl plays. We'll see what our friend Josh Point is on. But for now, let's get Josh in. And the reason why we're here, NHL. So let me find that. There you go. Click it, and there he is.
Good morning.
Hey, Josh. What's happening?
Not a whole lot. Another Saturday morning. Great day of hockey today. Got lots of games. Got a few afternoon games today and a whole bunch going on tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a great day for hockey.
Yes, it should be a really good day for hockey. And I'm sure I didn't really even look. Like I said, it's hectic on Saturday mornings, but I'm sure there's a ton of college basketball games on too today. So I would think whoever, everybody has their choice today of plenty of games to bet and maybe try to pad that account a little bit before the Super Bowl tomorrow. So that's always good. But yes, a great, hockey had their All-Star break. This week was kind of strange. I didn't realize how many teams didn't play until today. They had that long layoff. I mean, there were some games on Monday. There was games all week, but teams like even the Islanders, the Rangers, for instance, they haven't played until today. So that's interesting as far as that long of a layoff. So we'll see how that plays in. But yes, there's a few afternoon games. Those are the ones I tried to concentrate on, and because there's just so many games. And then later on, I'll tweet out I have some leans for later on, and I'll tweet out those plays. But good to see you, man. We haven't had this show for a while. The holidays started. Everybody's things happen. Family, life, holidays. And it's our first show back for the new year. So we're going to try to keep this going now as we head into the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my first show in the new year. So happy new year to everyone out there.
Man.
Hopefully your holidays were relaxing, exciting, profitable. Back to business now. And we're in the unofficial second half of the season in the NHL. Like you were saying, it was surprising to see a few teams that haven't played since before the All-Star break. And on the flip side of that, before the All-Star break, there was teams that were on their bye week the week before. So a long layoff and some well-rested teams. Columbus is one that's playing this afternoon. They had won 6 straight coming into the All-Star break, and we'll see what happens. I mean, that we'll see if it's good for them or if it goes against them, because I don't think
interesting
it's a
right
bad
there.
time for a good for them.
Yeah, interesting game right there, and I have a play on that game. Did you? Is that one of the games that you looked at already? That you have a thought on that Columbus Sabres game?
Yeah, Columbus has won 6 in a row going into the All-Star break, like I said.
Yeah.
And I think that they hit that break at the wrong time, really, when they had all the momentum. Everything was going right for them. We'll see if they can keep it going today against Buffalo. I might take Columbus there. I had a small lean towards that. I was also looking at the under in that game. Going in, what was that at? Six?
No, no, 5.5. That under wasn't. I actually was. I actually kind of like the over. What's going on with the Sabres, man? They were the team. They were making us money. We were hitting some alternate lines with them. They were playing great as an underdog, and then all of a sudden, it seems like they hit a little bit of a brick wall. They sure as hell came out of the All-Star break terrible. I had a couple plays against them, actually. Actually, I pushed against them. I took the over 6 with Canadian Sabres game, and I was leaning on taking those Canadians. So even though I don't like that team, I had a feeling that the Sabres weren't going to play well. But everybody on Jimmy's show was so on the Sabres. I just took the over and it pushed. But then the next night I went against the Sabres and cashed against the Predators. Was it the Preds? No, the Preds was the Capitals game.
No, it was Buffalo played Montreal the other night and Ottawa a few nights before that.
And lost a few nights before. Exactly.
I was on Buffalo the other night. They didn't pull it out, but they've one of those teams that got off to a pretty good start at the beginning of the season. And then they've kind of come back to earth as of late. But we'll see. I mean, there's lots of time left, but I think they're running out of time.
I agree with you 100%. I agree. These last 2 games, they've lost at a combined score of 8-3. The Sabres against 2 teams that they probably shouldn't have lost to. Sure as hell they're not better teams. Ottawa's in a better team. And I don't think, and at least they weren't up until Ottawa's not better than most. And the Canadians too. I thought they played over their head in that game, and I was surprised with that game. Both of these teams though haven't really lit up the scoreboard this year, huh? So great. The Blue Jackets. If you look at the Blue Jackets, they've won a lot of games 3-1, 3-0, 4-1, 4-2. You don't see really too many blowouts in those games, but something tells me today that the Sabres might have. They're back at home again, right? They haven't been playing great at home. The 13. Their spread record at home is 13-12. And Columbus's spread record is 18-6 away. I just have a feeling that the Sabres have to play a lot better, and they're going to score some goals today. And at the 5.5, I went with the over.
Yeah. Well, I'm leaning towards the other side. I'm leaning towards the under. I haven't made anything yet on that game. It opened up Buffalo -110. Now it's swung the other way to Columbus's favor.
Yes. They get disrespected there, the Sabres, a little bit. If you look at the stats on paper, CBJ they have 4-0 against the Atlantic, 10-1 against the East Conference. 5-1. They're 5-1 on road in the last road games. They're 5-2 as a favorite, CBJ. So. Everything looks that way, but you know what happens when everything looks one way, right? It definitely is a game the Sabres need, that's for sure, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Another afternoon game, Vancouver and the Islanders. Was that one that you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, I mentioned just that the Islanders haven't played in 10 days, and this is their first game back, and we'll see how that. So tell me about the game. I don't have a play on that game, but do you?
Well, Vancouver is playing really good coming into the break. They're in a logjam in the Pacific there with Edmonton, Calgary, Vegas, and Arizona. And they just have to keep winning in order to keep up with these other teams. There's only 4 points that are separating those 5 teams. So it's a big, Vancouver's coming to the the East Coast, and they've won 4 in a row. I think they get it done again today. Was it plus 120, I believe?
Yeah, I believe so. The Islanders really haven't been playing up to potential. That's another team, right?
Yeah.
They really limped into the All-Star break, not playing well. Their power play has been atrocious. They've been letting up a lot of goals. That is a little bit surprising for an Islander team, I don't disagree with your pick at all. I don't disagree with your pick at all. If you have noticed for the last couple of days, a lot of goals have been scored, right? There's a lot of overs. Last night was a lot of overs. I wonder if that's teams are rested. They're ready to try to start off on a new like a new season really. So
fresh start.
Yeah, fresh start. So you like Vancouver today?
Yeah, Vancouver in New York. We're never played really good at home, but just a spot where I need Vancouver needs to keep it going.
They need to keep it going. They're a little bit of a surprise, and they pumped it up. And that's what I love about hockey. This is the time of year, man, that there's no real super clear cut dominant teams. I mean, we know the Caps are good and the Penguins and all the regular, but you just never know. No one's really guaranteed, a runaway. So it should be a great. What we got? 30-something games left, or 40 games?
Yeah, 30 left.
Right?
Yeah.
What was that?
30 some odd games left.
Yeah, right. Okay. So this is and then nothing like Stanley Cup playoffs, man.
Absolutely.
Just nothing like it. And what other games were you looking at?
So we'll stay in the Pacific there later on tonight. Battle of Alberta up here in Canada. Edmonton at Calgary. Should be a great game. Kassian, Tkachuk. We'll see if they go at it again. I think they still got it. Tkachuk might have something to say. Whether he said his piece and he stood up for himself. That was good to see for the kid. He's going up against Kassian, who's in a whole nother weight class. We'll see if they go at it again tonight. But it's been fun to watch. It's been exciting hockey. Calgary has had the edge so far. They won all 3 games this season. This is the last time they play until their last game of the season for both teams. So I like Edmonton tonight. Calgary, they won the other night in a shootout.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Had a nice win the other night.
Yeah. But this is, again, in that Pacific with the tight race. This is a big game for Edmonton. Both teams are playing fantastic hockey at the moment. They're 7-1-2, 7-2-1 for both teams, respectively.
Right.
I think you're getting a pretty good value with Edmonton at plus 140. They did play last night. They got the win against St. Louis.
That was a nice win last night against St. Louis. That was a nice win. I almost pulled the trigger on St. Louis and I didn't. And obviously, I'm glad I didn't. But that was a nice win. Are you surprised on how? I'm not so surprised on how Calgary's playing, but are you surprised on how the Oilers, started playing better?
As of late, yeah, because it kind of seemed like for a second there we were going to get the same old typical Oilers. Just
exactly
put it together, can't get it done. But now down the stretch here, they need to keep it going. You got Calgary tonight, Vancouver's playing. Arizona and Vegas are both playing tonight. I have a look on that game. Yeah. No, that wasn't. They're not playing heads up. They're just both playing tonight.
But I have a look on that the Vegas Vegas game. Yeah, Vegas Preds game. Yeah, for sure. But go ahead. Keep on that game. So you took a bet already. You made you took a play on that Oiler game.
Yeah.
You already pulled the trigger.
I got Edmonton at plus 140. Like I said,
that's beautiful. Yeah.
I think there's some value there with Edmonton. It's a big game for them tonight. I think they get it done. They don't. You can't lose all these big games to Calgary. These are games they have to win, and I think they get it done tonight.
5-1 in their last 6 games as an underdog, the Oilers. 6-2 their last 8 overall. 6-2 versus a team with a winning record. That's pretty good. They don't play great on. They played last night. Yes. They don't play great on zeros rest, but that's always something that the stat I'm looking at is over. I'm looking at a stat that's over a course of 100 games. So they've had a little trouble in the Western Conference, but and in the Pacific. That's their one thing. They haven't been playing great in the Pacific, but that stat could be too from earlier in the year. I see a stat of 1-4 their last 5 in the Pacific, but I didn't look to see when the last time they were playing within that division and stuff. So it should be an interesting game. I'll tell you, I definitely wouldn't be taking the Flames at 160, minus 160. That's for sure. And that's what I'm seeing now. That's a good look. That's something I didn't even get down to looking at. It's a late game tonight, and I am writing that down as we speak because that's a great look. That's a great look. I like that a lot. One of the games I'm looking at is the Vegas Preds game. I jumped on the Preds out of the All-Star break. I had them against the Caps at plus 140, and I also had them in the other game they played. I don't have it written down in front of me, but they've been playing well. They've been playing well. Oh yeah, I had the team total over against the Devils. They had that 6-5 shootout game against the Devils. I had the over in the game. I had the Preds team total over 3.5, which was like plus 105 or something. So I hit that game, and then I hit the plus 140 against the Red Wings. Had a 5-4. Against the Capitals, they had a 5-4 win. That was a risky bet, and I did a show. It was one of the video picks I did on that. Was that Thursday? And I said I might be really stepping into a trap, but I was going to take a shot with the Preds. So anyhow, they came out on fire. They came out good, and now they go home.
Who do you like in that game?
And now they go home against Vegas, and Vegas is one of those teams that really hasn't been playing great. They definitely have a letdown from last year. They're 21-32 against the spread overall, but Nashville's 18-32 against the spread. So neither team is really good spread teams. And the thing that caught me is the Preds are 7-18 at home against the spread. They're not playing well at home. I think Vegas could go in there and possibly win that game. I was looking at a team total, but I couldn't get the number yet on my local. I didn't look on Bovada, but I didn't see if I don't know if you see a Vegas team total, but that I didn't. That I didn't see. But the Preds. Listen, the Preds have been playing well. They're 7-3. Their last 10. Versus a team with losing records, but I like Vegas and I like the over. I think that they are playing a little bit. Maybe the Preds, they played 2 good games. They beat a good Capitals team, and now they're going home. Could be a little bit of a letdown spot. That's what I'm hoping for. So I took Vegas, and I took Vegas was minus 1. I took over 6 minus 120. I took over 6 minus 120 in that game. I took Vegas plus 110.
Yeah,
that's what I took.
Vegas played Carolina last night. Got a big win there. They're in the middle of a long road trip.
Yes, they are.
I'm not probably not going to stay away from this game, but I was thinking about the Predators. They've been playing good lately. I was kind of on the other side there. Maybe you talked me out of it there, but
what about the total? What about the over, the total in that game?
Yeah, well,
6.
I'm seeing at minus 120 right now for over 6.
Yeah, I don't pay more than that, but that's what I laid minus 120. A couple of questions. We got a bunch of people in the chat. Alex Ramirez wants to know what we think about the Blackhawks. I know they've been playing good. I listened to Ian and Adam this morning, and I think they might have had a look on that Chicago Blackhawks. I know they touched on it a little bit. Alex, you can check that video out. Ian Cameron on that SBR video. And he talks about that Blackhawk game a little bit, I believe. But they've been playing good. I would lean over total in that game. I don't know if the Blackhawks are playing over their head or not. Do you have any look on that at
Uh,
all?
Well, they have been playing good lately. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're on the road against Arizona though, and
I like that Coyotes team, man.
125. I could see some value there with taking Chicago.
Right.
That might even be. I'm gonna look into this more. The Chicago. I didn't dig into that game yet. That might be a good spot for an alternate puck line, actually.
Just something we can take a look at. Another game, Dear Slayer Ski's looking at. Hey, doing, buddy? He's the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, my Leafs.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs. I didn't get to that game, but there's a bunch of those games that I didn't even look at. I looked at a few of the early games, and really that was it.
Battle of Ontario tonight.
Yeah,
that's a game I'm on also.
Okay, let's talk about it then.
Ottawa coming off a loss to Washington last night. They beat Buffalo on the road.
Right, which we didn't think they should.
No, right, not at all. Well, that was only the 6th road victory of the year. I'm hammering Toronto tonight. The puck line's only -105. I don't love that. There's not a ton, but I know. The over is actually my best play there. +110. It's at 7.
I see that.
Yeah, with Hutchinson's going tonight, and also Craig Anderson for Ottawa. I think there'll be lots of goals scored tonight. I'm hammering the over, and I'm gonna hammer the Toronto puck line too. I hate that at -105, but you know what?
I mean, look, the line. That line opened up at -345, and now it got bet down to -285. But that's just
yeah.
That could be just a few bets and just a few people just taking a swing at off
right.
Yeah, but that's a lot. I mean, 7's a high number, but listen,
it is. But you know what? The way these two teams play, the over 9-1 in the last 10 in head-to-head. Ottawa coming off a game last night. And you know what? I just think there's going to be a ton of goals. I think they put up goals early and often, and we should hit that game fairly early.
The over is the Senators are. The over is 20-6 in their last 26 meetings between the two teams. The over is 6-0 in their last 6 meetings in Toronto.
Yep.
And the home team is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. But the Senators historically have a good record against them, but that's over the last 20 meetings. So that goes into obviously that's not just this year. So those kind of stats I don't even bother.
I see in the comments D Slayer Ski saying Toronto puck line for him. I also see Nick in the chat. He loves those first period overs. I'd hop on board with that. What's that first period?
Nicky, crazy Nicky, -1 for every. We have to track that now, Nick. Today, take every first period. Would you say take every first period under?
Over.
That's over. That's -140. That's what you say, or under. Right, I got you now. It's hard to talk early Saturday morning.
Up to -180 now.
What is
the first period over?
Oh, you see, obviously you're not going to take that, right?
Yeah, I can't take that, but I'm sure.
But how about the team totals now in that game? Is there any kind of look on the team totals? I mean, could you get a little bit more value than with the 7? Or I guess not, probably.
Team totals.
They would have to be 4.
You know what? At 4.5 for Toronto is +125. That's not bad.
Wow,
that's pretty good actually. I like that.
Wow.
Ottawa. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting, but I guess not. I guess really the safer play would be the 7. Then it wouldn't be. That's a lot of goals, man. That's a lot of goals.
+110.
Even 4-3, you get to push. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough team total, without a doubt. What other game? Do you know another game that I looked at was the Panthers game. Florida Panthers. I started to look at that game right before we came on, and there was another game I was looking at. Okay, where did I go here? I wrote down. Let's see my bets here. Did you take you got all your Super Bowl bets and stuff all locked in there? Josh?
I've got
a bunch yet. You got a bunch locked in?
Well, it's Super Bowl, time
Yeah.
for prop bets. I'm not a huge prop better during the season or playoffs, but
No.
I mean, it's
No,
Super
I am
Bowl,
in the
right? It's all
playoffs.
playoffs.
I am in the
Yeah, it's
playoffs,
all.
and I am at the Super Bowl. During the year, I don't play those prop bets at all, like individual player props, stuff like that. I don't do that.
Is Ricky coming on?
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was trying to wait for. I'm gonna. Ricky's supposed to come in around noon. Yeah, Ricky's supposed to come in around noon if there's no technical difficulty, and he has a couple of college basketball plays for us. And Ricky's been hot in college basketball lately.
Sure.
He's on like a maybe I don't know the exact record, but I think it's something like 27-15, 27-13 in that area. He's definitely been hot the last week or two in college basketball, and he's only been putting out 1 and 2 plays a day. It's not like he's because sometimes that record goes up. You hit a nice 4-5-0 day, that record goes up quick. It looks better than it looks really good. When you're doing 1-2 games a day, that's a hot streak. So he seems to be in tune with that. So we'll see if he has any college basketball games for us today. The earliest game. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I've noticed you've been sticking to a lesser amount of games each day, and you've been hammering NHL as of late. I think you just had an unbelievable week, so good for you.
So far, so good, which always makes me leery.
let me talk of one more game here.
Yeah,
and that's your New York Rangers coming off a big win last night at home to Detroit. Now they go to Detroit for the second game of the back-to-back. Home and home.
There it is.
Detroit's lost 7 straight, and I think the Rangers. I've got a parlay actually for this game. Rangers money line, I believe it was minus 160 and under 6. That pays plus 210. Detroit, they're a house league hockey team. They're crap. They're garbage. I couldn't lay $1 on them. It is the home and home, the second game, but I think the Rangers get it done. This week is going to be huge for the Rangers. I know some people in the chat will call me crazy, whatever. That's fine. It's time for the Rangers to put up or shut up. This is a huge week for them. They're 10 points out of the playoffs roughly.
Exactly.
They are 10. They've got 4 home games in a row after today. Dallas, the Leafs. I want to say Pittsburgh and LA. Not sure about Pittsburgh, whoever they play on Thursday. But anyway, they got 4 games, big games. If they can pull out, 4 wins out of those games, then they'll be right back in the mix. And with the trade deadline coming up, that'll kind of determine which way they go. Are they buyers or sellers at the deadline? This is a good team. They got a lot of players. You've been saying it all year that they just needed time to gel. I mean, they haven't exactly played.
They're young. They're a young team. They're exactly what we've been talking about. I do like that look on the under. I had that written down as a lead. I had the Ranger Detroit over last night 6 and pushed. But they, like you say, man, the Rangers are playing good. Against the spread, they've really been a good team. 32-17 this year against the spread. 15-8 on the road. Look at that against the spread record on the road. It's back-to-back night. I was going to look at a Ranger team total over actually, and the under for the game. Believe it or not, that's the 2 leans I was looking at. I didn't get a number yet. Did you have one?
I love the under. The puck line. The puck line is very expensive for Detroit. Detroit puck line's minus 185. So that's plus 1.5. So
yeah, the plus. Right.
Expensive.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what? I'm just going to stick to the money line. The money line with the Rangers at minus 160. That's not too bad. Like I said,
Detroit's, well, you threw it in a parlay. You said right?
Yeah, it is in a parlay. I'm thinking of maybe taking that on its own also.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I said, they're a house league team. They're trash. They can't do anything right. I think Howard played last night, and I think we'll see Calvin Pickard tonight, who's hasn't been a former Leaf, hasn't been playing very good.
Who's in goal for the Rangers? Did you say?
Yeah, it's Lundqvist. I'm not seeing a
Oh, he's
confirmed
playing?
for Detroit.
They're starting to sit him a lot, man. Call me crazy. I think if they're gonna trade one, they might trade Lundqvist. They might.
Well,
I was thinking they were going to trade Gorbiev, keep the kid, and training under Lundqvist basically. But Gorbiev is ready to take off. He's ready to take over a team as a number one goalie. Obviously, him and Lundqvist aren't going to stay together after this season. It doesn't make sense for the Rangers to do that. Lundqvist. A lot of us who love him and have been big fans of him the whole time. I almost wouldn't mind seeing him leave the Rangers if he can get a damn Stanley Cup in his pocket. He's one of those kind of plays that, like people thought about SAA back in the day. They just wanted him to get a cup, or actually they wanted the Rangers to get that cup. You know what I'm saying? Teams like, a player like Lundqvist, and I've been a fan for a long time. I almost wouldn't mind him leaving the team. I wouldn't mind having Gorbiev too as our number one, and with this kid coming up, the Russian kid,
he looks really
he's a good talent. So it's a good problem for the Rangers to have. Three good goalies. But
I'm wondering why Gorgiev's not playing today or last night. He played the 3 games against the Islanders last week, and it's a little fishy to me why he's not playing last night or tonight. Maybe
just because Lundqvist hasn't played.
Yeah, maybe,
or it's the other thing, and what do you think in the back of your mind? Maybe he's getting traded. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Trying
to protect him. That's maybe. I mean, it's possible.
Listen, something's going on with them, and I guess we're going to know pretty soon. Freeze it up. There you go. Say that again.
Well, we'll see what happens today.
You freeze it up on us?
Sorry, did you lose me there?
Yeah, just for a second. You're back there. Can we hear you? Anyhow, yeah. So that Ranger team, is a team we definitely keep an eye on the next couple of weeks. I think they could be a team that we can make some money on. They're a team that if you follow the Rangers, you can make some money going with them against them. They're streaky. They'll lose 3 or 4 games in a row just as quick as they will win 3 games in a row. So we'll see what happens with them. But that's a good team. They are about 10 points out of the playoffs right now, where the Islanders are only like 3 points ahead in the playoffs. And as far as that, the Islanders better hold on to their skates, because they can find themselves out of these playoffs if they don't put their power play together and they don't start playing better hockey. You agree, Josh?
Is that the Islanders you're talking about?
Yeah. Yes. They're underachieving. Yeah, now I
feel like I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, you were freezing for a while. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying the Islanders they're 3 points ahead in the playoffs right now, and if they don't watch their ass, they're going to find themselves out of the playoffs. Their power play isn't playing well. The team isn't playing like a true trot team. I just want to know what your feelings were on that. You think they're a team that's going to pick it up, or?
I do. I have faith in them. They're a well-rounded team. We talked about this earlier. They play Vancouver, today at 1. It's not going to be easy for them today, but over the long term, I do think that they get it together and start putting together some wins. They got to start playing better at home again, like they were earlier in the season. They had that nice long stretch. What did they win, like 15 games in a row or something like that, or 15 games without a regulation loss, whatever it was.
Yes.
But
they played that long stretch of games too going into the All-Star break, which is why they had that these 10 days off. They played like a whole bunch of, it was something like 27 out of 32 days, or some crazy number like that. So so we'll see about that long leg off. I like that you went against them today. I thought that was a good look.
Yeah, just looking here, coming into the break, they had lost 3 out of 4. They beat the Rangers.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like they're having trouble playing against the good teams. So,
and that's something that's not usual
coming up.
Yeah, they do.
Get it together. They've got, I see Vancouver, Dallas, Tampa, Washington, even Philly, and then they go out west. They got a West Coast trip. So yeah, they're going to be in tough, but I do think they're a good team. They'll find a way to get it done for sure.
So our our friend and colleague Boston Nick MMA has been big on this John Jones guy. I guess he's fighting February 8th. He talked about it last night with me on the lounge. He's like at a minus 400, something like that. But what Nicky did was parlay him in a lot of different spots. I think last night he said he parlayed him 18 different spots, and brought them all into a positive juice type plays. And he's big on this John Jones, and his thing is all your Super Bowl bets tomorrow. If you're betting, the side, the total.
Oh, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, parlay with John Jones. He's saying parlay with the game tonight. Like you parlay it with Vancouver, parlay it with everything with whatever games you're thinking of. And he took 18 separate parlays, not all MMA parlays, I'm assuming, on different areas and we'll see what happens. That's interesting. Interesting look.
I don't even have a line here on John Jones.
Oh no, I think Nick, you're in the chat. Yeah, what did you say? He was minus 400, or hey, listen, could they have taken him off the board at this point? Who knows?
Oh, maybe.
I don't think they do that. Who knows? I mean, every the thing about the MMA, every book is different. Some books don't even bother with it. Some books, their lines are totally different. So
yeah. I apologize. I found it. It's mine. Yeah, Jones minus 450.
Okay, minus 450. So that even went up again, Nick. It was minus 400. Nicky was saying, and now we're seeing a minus 450. Unbelievable. I
mean, no one's going to lay 450. So yeah, I see what he's saying. Kind of makes sense to you.
Right.
If you love John Jones there, then yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, listen, that's his thing, the MMA. I know nothing about it. Trying to learn about it. So, how about this? We got a tennis play from our boy, Unbelievable. Eric says, Thiem plus 1.5 sets, plus 160, and over 38.5 games. It's a tennis play tonight. Interesting. Very good. I like that. I like that some of these guys play tennis things. It's an interesting sport to. I actually like watching it sometimes. I actually like watching the girls more than the guys.
I'm not a big tennis guy, but is that
no, me either. But
that's got to be Australian Open, isn't it? I've never.
I'm not sure if he's still in the chat, but it probably is. It probably is what you're saying. But yeah. So I guess Ricky might have had some problems getting in. So let's jump. Let's jump to the Super Bowl, and we'll talk about which we gave out for the NHL. And then we'll get out of here. That's all. Talk to me about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm looking at a few props. I'm gonna jump on the side and the total.
Go ahead.
I'm at. Can you hear me? Sorry, I keep breaking up there.
No, I got you. You're good.
Chiefs are still at minus 1.5. I'm gonna jump on that in the morning, see if it moves at all. Yeah, for me, it's got to be the Chiefs.
Okay,
they're unstoppable. I know San Fran has a great defense, but when I saw that Houston game, I said, "Wow, like who's gonna stop this team?" They just keep going and going and going, putting up tons of points. It's gonna be tough for San Fran. I want to see what their game plan is coming in because Jimmy G hasn't been playing very well, as far as his passing goes.
He hasn't had to.
But their run game has been unbelievable, right? So what's their game plan coming in? Do they stick to that? Which leads me to a prop that I saw of Jimmy G's passing yards. It's at 238.5.
Right.
I'm hammering the under on that.
Right.
I put one in already, just a small bet. I'm going to put up on that.
All my prop bets are small. I don't go crazy betting, big numbers on any prop bets. So
I was listening to some podcast or whatever it was a few days ago, and they were talking about not Janet Jackson, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, and
Right.
there's a prop out there. It's 2.5 over under how many times she has a wardrobe change during.
Okay, so she's doing the halftime show, right?
Yeah.
So how many times is she? So is she going to have a outfit change 3 times and then the over?
And they're saying that I'm not a big J-Lo fan, but they're saying to hammer that over, that it'll be more like double digits. Because,
I mean, it makes sense, like in that kind of thing, and and with her, I guess if you think about it, it would make sense that they would pop on it because they usually do like a medley and stuff, and isn't she doing it with somebody else?
Shakira.
Right. So I could see. Yeah, that makes sense. I can't stand a lot of those props. They just get so silly. But
all these crazy props. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is crazy. That's crazy. I know Paco Healy last night was on the lounge with us. He also liked that Jimmy G prop that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But for the silly props, he took the over 2-minute or whatever it was for the national anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he took another Demi Lovato's prop. I don't know what the hell it was, but yeah, whatever it was. But yeah, he took the that over, and that's funny. But that's interesting. And what's the line on that? 2.5. And what is it?
1.5. Oh, sorry for what?
For the J-Lo thing.
Oh, it was 2.5. Yeah.
And what's the line? Plus
-1. No. I don't know, to be honest. I think it was -110.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I got you. That's interesting. What other? So that prop bet that you said, Jimmy G's prop bet on the 239. I think that's a reasonable look. I definitely think that's a reasonable look. Me and Doc both took the Chiefs early in the year. I took mine like week 13. I got the Chiefs to win, just to win, plus 500. So I have that in my pocket, 150 bet to win 750. So I have that in my pocket. So what I did was I did take a bunch of San Francisco props also, just in case, I could, see what happens.
Yeah.
But go ahead. What else did you take?
Raheem Mostert, first touchdown. It's plus 600.
Not a bad look.
A little bit on that. That's
not a bad look.
The game he's coming off of. Let's see if we can keep it going. And
who else took that? Go ahead. Keep telling me. Go ahead. What else did you take?
I was just saying. We'll see if he can keep it going. He had a monster game last week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness! And that's the reason why Jimmy G had to throw 8 passes.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. They couldn't stop him. It was amazing. Now, I mean, the Chiefs' defense was kind of maligned during the year, but if you look at the last 5-6 weeks of the season, they really did come on. They came on at the right time, and what they really took. They take him out. But they sure as hell slowed down Henry in that Tennessee game. That's for sure, and that was a big key.
Yeah.
Even though Mahomes went off, that defense still was a key part of that win. 100%. Taking Henry out of that game really was a key factor. So a lot of people looking at that 49 running game. It could be a problem. It could be a problem. I almost think that the Chiefs are going to try to stop the run, put the ball in Jimmy G's hand, and see if he can beat us. See if he can stay up with Pat Mahomes. I mean, I would think that would be the game plan, right?
Right. And, I think a lot of it's going to come down to San Fran's D-line against KC's O-line. I mean, that San Fran's D-line is just unbelievable with Bosa, Buckner, and all those guys. Yeah. I mean, if they have a big game, Mahomes could be in trouble, but
he could be.
He can scramble.
He can scramble. I took last week. I went 7-3 with the props in those games, and I had a bunch of them on the Chiefs. I had Sammy Watkins over. I had Sammy Watkins score a touchdown at plus 170. I had him over 47.5 yards, and I thought Sammy Watkins was the perfect player last week. The player over receiving yards play, because I thought the Titans were going to have to try to take out Kelsey or take out Hill or double team one of them. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. I would, just as that's what you have to take out, try to slow Kelsey down, or he'll beat you alone. So I thought Watkins was going to be open, and I got lucky, and he was. I made some money on him. I went back to him again this week, thinking the same kind of thing. I did take Mahomes. One of the props I lost was Mahomes over 24.5 completions.
Oh, completions. Okay.
Yeah. Now this week it's up to 26. I went under.
Yeah.
I went under in completions under 26. And that, I did take that. That was the only really thing I took against KC. Was that I took Sammy Watkins over 49.5 receiving yards. And for San Francisco, I took, which we all took. If you get a chance, go back and listen to Monday night. I did light it up, and we had David Boston on.
Right.
And he really gave us a great little insight on the NFL and it's just such a pleasure, man, listening to somebody that really, and he was talking some good strategies. And one of the prop bets he liked, and we all jumped on it. It's one that I lost on last week because of the running game of San Francisco. That receiving yards didn't work. But Emmanuel Sanders, longest reception, 17.5 yards.
Okay.
And over receiving yards, 44.5. Both at minus 120. Now he has a prop. David also liked the over prop of 2.5 receptions. It was minus 140 during the week. I looked last night; it was minus 195.
Is that for Emmanuel Sanders?
Yes, over 2.5 receptions. They don't want to move that line to 3, so they have the juice up to minus 195. But obviously, I didn't take it. But
it's up to 3.5 now, plus 120 on my book.
So they moved it today, huh?
Yeah,
So I wonder if my book moved it. That's interesting prop right there. See that? That's a. There's one thing about prop bets. You don't see lines like that move. You see juice move, but you don't really see lines jump like that. That's an interesting look. I'll tell you, he loved that look, Emmanuel Sanders. That's something you could keep a look at.
What do you think?
Another bet we jumped on that you might see if you're interested in this. Myself, DJ, I'm not sure who else. We like the first half under 27.
Yeah, Go
what? Ahead.
I think I could see it going the other way, but you know what? What did it open up at, like 51, the game total, and then it jumped up to 54 now. I could see that. I think that was first half, you said?
Yes. Under 27, the total points, under 27, first half. The total is what, 54.5 still?
Yeah. I got it at 54, but it could be different, right?
It started at 51.
So you think they come out running the ball a lot? See if they establish that run, and then if not, they gotta. If like you said, if KC's game plan is going to be to try and stop that run and make them make second half adjustments, start throwing the ball in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think that San Francisco might be able to contain. They might be able to contain the Chiefs maybe in the first half. I also took the Chiefs team total over 27.5. So, I have kind of have it both ways in a way, but
at that number, I actually like that. What's that? Like minus 110 or something?
Yeah, I'll look for it. Team total over 20. Yeah, I think it was maybe 110 or 115. Yeah. For some reason, I didn't write that down, but I have the under 27 was even when I took it. And like I said, I have the Chiefs to plus 500 to win. I got Kendrick Bourne for San Francisco over 22.5 receiving yards.
I've seen you make a few bets with that guy.
Yeah. You know what?
Personally,
I cashed one and I lost one with him. I just did it off an article I was reading about how this kid is the receiver of the future. How Shanahan was going to try to use him as this little bit of a secret weapon. He's a guy I think that could get open that they might not be paying too much attention to. He's a good young player. Last week, they really couldn't go to him because, they just kept on running the ball and he kept on blocking all those sweeps and stuff. So it didn't work, but I kind of like that play for sure. Totally brought up a good point about the Chiefs. Like I said, they stopped Henry, but Noli's right. They did stop going to Henry, but they had to. They had to change their game plan.
Exactly.
They might have changed it a little bit early, but they had to change their game plan. That run by Mahomes in the first half, holds out the first half, really how to put a dagger in Tennessee's heart. I mean, Tennessee played a good first half. I mean, they were in the game. They jumped out to a lead, and So anyhow, Nolan's 100% right on that. But
and
that's what happens sometimes.
That's how I see it playing out tomorrow too. If they can't get that run game going, they're gonna have to make some adjustments at halftime, and it might not work out in their favor, right?
That's definitely going to be the key, without a doubt.
San Fran's D line is up huge.
Yeah, 100. Oh yeah, without a doubt. I was almost thinking of coming on and maybe do the first half Super Bowl, open up a chat, open up a room, and we could, as we watch the game, we could talk about it a little bit. Maybe we could come up with a second. Yeah, I was thinking of. I don't want to do it the whole game because I want to at least enjoy the second half. Without. But I figured maybe if we could do that, we come on and maybe between all of us, we can come up with some decent second half plays as the first half ends, and see when those lines come out. See if we could catch something that we, and then we'll see what happens. See if I can get that together. Because I'm not really doing much tomorrow. I took it easy this year. I'm not doing much for the Super Bowl. I was thinking about that Vegas thing, but I couldn't swing it this time. I know our buddy Big Ragu 62 is out at the Orleans this weekend. He got there yesterday with a bunch of our friends, so they should be having a good time. Anybody out in Vegas land, stop into the Orleans, just go right up to the sports book. There's a bar in the sports book, a little area right there, and trust me, you will see Big Ragu 62 for sure, 100%. So
I'm jealous. Those guys must be having a blast down there. I'm sure it's crazy busy. I wanted to get down there. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But
maybe March. We're gonna try for March Madness. End of March, if we could get a banging baggers trip together, we will. It'd be fun if we could get something together. I feel like things are changing in low bagger land. Maybe not as much as we think they are, but I just feel like things are changing. So we all got to find ways to just keep on sticking together, no matter what the future holds. I know Jimmy's been talking about going through negotiations and stuff during the week on his show, and I talked to him privately a little bit about it. And that you never know what happens with negotiations, right?
Exactly.
So whenever you think they're looking good, they're not, and hopefully, he doesn't think they were looking so great, so hopefully they really are. That's how it works, right? So, but we were even talking about starting, and I would love to hear what everybody else thinks. Myself, DJ, and Doc were talking about it. I had an idea of starting another. We have that Miami chat, but it's just like a few of us, and there's not a lot of low baggers that aren't on it. And I would rather just start a complete new private chat for us, all us low baggers. And that way we all stay in touch no matter what the future, whether Jimmy's not there anymore, whether it's a year from there and he's not there, or whatever happens. We still, can always stay together. So I'm going to open up a new private chat next week. I'll announce it on Jimmy's show, and whoever wants to be, involved, just tell me and I'll add you right in. And hopefully that'd be something like that. We can keep going.
That's a great idea. I agree, especially when we get guys like I see in the chat, Alex Ramirez, Tease, Noli knows. We see these guys in every week, right? They're I don't have a lot of private chats with them, but I'd love to. I'd love to get to know more about them as a handicapper and what they're.
Yeah, and there's a lot of low baggers that aren't on that Miami chat.
Guy.
Yep. You're right.
And other cappers, different sports. Absolutely, that's a great idea.
Without a doubt. There's a lot of cappers, that aren't on that Miami chat. That are part of the, part of the low bag group that we've all that's been there that way for the longest time. So I figure we'll start that up. We'll come up with something and see what happens. So our friend Trout Wham put out his anytime touchdown Super Bowl props. Let me hit these with you. Emmanuel Sanders, like we talked about, that seems to be the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Boys' favorite pick. Emmanuel Sanders plus 235. Matt Breida plus 200. This is anytime touchdowns. Debo Samuel plus 150. Travis Kelce plus 120. And Kittle plus 120. Those are the ones that our boy Trot put out for anytime Super Bowl touchdowns. And he said more. So interesting.
Can't go wrong with that.
And our boy Tease is putting out the UMKC today first half minus 7.5. Oh, I like that. I like a nice first half bet for some reason. That's something I'm going to take a look at. Tease, thank you very much. So let me ask you something before we get out of here. You did take the over. You said
in what? Sorry,
in the Super Bowl? Over in the Super Bowl. You took over.
No.
Oh, I thought you took over 54.
I haven't touched that yet. I'm leaning. I will probably in the morning jump on the under in that game. I don't see that getting up to 50. It's at 54 now. I don't personally see it getting up that high.
Okay, I got you.
Like you said, the first half under 27. I might jump on that also. That's a good bet. We talked about that. If they try to establish the run early and they're run, then I could see that staying under. But
that's why I like the first half under, and I was afraid to take the full game under. It's almost
they're pretty dangerous. So they seem to be scoring at will. So it does scare me, but I don't see it personally getting up there that high.
Yeah, I hear you.
Remember last year? Do you remember last year when New England and the Rams? Everyone thought it was going way over. I was like, what? 1-0 at halftime.
13-8 final score, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Jesus, that's just crazy. All right, man. So unfortunately, we didn't get our boy Cranky Rick didn't come in. I mean, had some technical difficulty, but it was great having everybody in today. I appreciate it very much.
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
So let's go over our bets.
Sure.
Let's do the NHL bets.
I'll start. I was on Edmonton plus 140 in the Edmonton-Calgary game. That's later on tonight.
Right.
Ottawa, Toronto puck line minus 105 and over 7.0 plus 110 in that game. Also the Rangers, I've got a parlay. Rangers money line and under 6.0 plus 210. That's it for me.
Oh, great. Oh, so you parlayed the under and the Rangers. A correlated parlay. Love it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great look. I'm gonna definitely take. I was leaning on that Ranger under, so that's something I might be adding. What I did take was the over 5.5 plus 105 in the Columbus Blue Jackets Sabres game. I took the Sabres team total over 2.5 minus 120. I took the Vegas Preds game over 6 minus 120. I took Vegas plus 110. I'm leaning Florida Panthers over. I did take the Panthers total over 3.5 plus 115. And I did take.
Perfect.
So, and those are the games. That's what I took. I'll definitely tweet out the plays, and I will, if I'm on any other ones, I will definitely tweet those out. I will definitely post something tonight if I'm going to do the Super Bowl chat tomorrow. I don't know if you guys are into it. Let me know. I'll open up a chat, and we can come in. Talk about the game as it goes on. Let me know if anybody wants to do that. We might have some fun doing that. So I'll post something tonight, and we'll see what happens with that. How's that, Josh?
That sounds like a great idea. I mean, good way for everybody to get in, be interactive. If you're not out at a big party or something, I might be tuned in. I'm gonna be out, but I might.
Yeah, you stop by and say hello quick. That's all.
Yeah, I'll tune in on my cell phone for a few minutes, and we'll see what's going on.
That's all. I'll send you a link where you can show us your party.
Absolutely.
What do you call it? I would love to iron out something with you, and we can do this weekly.
Yeah.
This NHL on point. We do it weekly for, like we said, we got like 30-something games left, so that would be the time to do it. We just got to decide what's the best time to do it. Is it Saturday morning this time, or is it one night during the week? We're pretty open, so we'll talk about that. There's a lot of big games on Tuesday nights. There's a lot of big games on Thursday nights. But we'll see.
And a full slate of games on Saturdays too. So
so we'll work it out. But I love doing this with you, man. I'm glad that we're back doing it together, and we'll definitely get something going for sure. And then maybe we'll get lucky. We'll try to talk Ian to come in on us one time.
Nice.
And I already talked to Mr. Gongster. I told him he's welcome to come on with us anytime. So we'll try to get a guest on here and there, and we'll get this on point going. DJ wanted me to call this Puck You, but I went with on point.
Yeah.
All right, man. Josh, great having you, man. Have a good Super Bowl. Make some money today with the NHL, so you can bet more on the Super Bowl. Thanks, dear Slayer, for coming in. Absolutely. Alex, love you, man. He's always freaking here, Alex. And what a great guy. Alex, you're welcome to come in that lounge anytime you want, man. Tease. Unability, of course, Nikki, of course, Noli, all the regulars, man. Love you guys. DJ, who, by the way, Josh, if you didn't know, DJ checked in from Biloxi, Mississippi. He went to Biloxi he's at Biloxi at the Hard Rock in Biloxi, which is a big gambling spot, man. There's a couple of hotels right there. I told DJ to do a little reconnaissance. They say that word, reconnaissance. Yeah, to and see if it'd be a good spot for a future low bag trip. I know there's a place called the Beau Rivere that's top notch down there. There's a Hard Rock where DJ's staying. So anyhow, that's where he is. Big Ragu is out at the Orleans in Vegas. So our boys are all around. We'll see if we get them to check in tomorrow with the Super Bowl. And until then, everybody, thank you, Josh. I'll see you soon.
Thank you,
for everybody else. Thank you for coming in, and have a great Super Bowl. And as we always say, see you at the window.